Browns defense the last 5 weeks has taken a little bit of a hit. Is it time to be concerned? Ryan Clark, former Steelers defensive back, answered that question on ESPN's NFL Live.
The Browns' defense was dominant during the first half of the season. That's not been the case, though, lately. After the last 5 weeks, the Browns have allowed nearly 27 points per game, 6th most in the NFL. Making matters worse, it was announced yesterday that the Browns' leading tackler, safety Grant Delpit, will be out for the rest of the regular season with a groin injury. You hate to hear that. And RC, how concerned are you about this Browns defense?
Glad Grant got his money before this happened. I am very concerned about this defense because it's hard to replace good players. You lost Rodney McLeod. Juan Thornhill was hurt. Now Grant Delpit is on IR. You also think about Denzel Ward being banged up and a guy like Myles Garrett not being at 100%. It's a reason people get paid hundreds of millions of dollars to play their positions. It's because they're really dang good. And now that they aren't playing as elite of a level and they're also trying to replace those guys while having the film out of the way Jim Schwartz is trying to attack offenses, it's been very difficult for these teams. And so I don't believe they'll be at the back end of defenses in the league for the rest of the season, but I don't think we'll see that sort of dominance we saw early on.
And, Jeff, that's probably a fair assessment. Now, the one thing is now Jim Schwartz will likely adjust to what the league has adjusted to.
Didn't this team just force Trevor Lawrence into 4 sacks and 3 interceptions last week? I mean, the Jaguars are a good team. They're going to score points. They're going to get yards. Like, some of this is, are they playing at the pace they were, where 2 games out of the first 3, they held teams to under 100 yards? Come on, that was not sustainable. We all know that. And look, guys are just a little bit more generally tired this time of year. And, a little bit more banged up, and the offense at times should be ahead of the defense. But, this just gets to a point here, where we're trying to emphasize everything. And you want to know what? Yeah, you can try to say, oh, well, I think they're going to fall off a little bit. Well, with the amount of injuries and the fact that they are down to safety 4, 5, and 6, and, a big part of their interior defensive line is out. They might have 2 parts of their interior defensive line out. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's safe to say that they're all, their defense is going to, fall down just a tad bit. But in the same respect, we're not talking about the fact that we have a quarterback that threw for, 5 touchdowns over the last 2 games. You got to weigh everything out in equals. And look, I don't think the Browns care which side does it, whether it's the offensive side of the ball, whether it's the defensive side of the ball. I just think the Browns want to find a way to make sure that when that final gun goes, the Browns are ahead on the scoreboard.